The story is about two sisters whose father had two marriages, and their stepmother's behavior towards them was not good at all. The elder sister's name is Sumi. She used to have low memory and was once sitting with a doctor. The doctor asked her, "Do you know who you are?" But the scene cuts here, and we never get to hear Sumi's answer. From there the story shifts. Both sisters and their father are returning home from somewhere. The two sisters share a very close bond, and on the way back, they are laughing and talking together. Hearing their laughter, their stepmother calls them inside. Sumi already knew that her stepmother would say something against them. She hated her stepmother deeply. Here we realize how much Sumi loves and cares for her younger sister. She could never tolerate anyone speaking badly to her. She takes her sister away from there. When she enters her room, she sees that everything in room was neatly arranged, perfectly in place. Her stepmother had done all of it. But Sumi didn't like her at all. She never wanted her to touch any of her things. She felt her stepmother only did it to impress their father. This made Sumi angry and irritated. She wondered why her stepmother couldn't just stay away from them. Sumi believed she was trying to take their father away from them. Sumi immediately went to her father's room and started arranging his clothes herself, before her stepmother could do it. When her stepmother saw this, she became furious and said, "He's my husband too, not just your father." Sometime later we see Sumi's father on the phone with someone saying, "Things here are getting worse. The good thing is you're not here." He also mentioned that Sumi was unwell, and he had invited his brother and his brother's wife to visit so she could feel better. At that moment the stepmother entered, and once again she and Sumi started arguing. Sumi's father got up and left, placing 2 tablets in front of his second wife before leaving. That night Sumi's younger sister had a terrifying nightmare. She saw their stepmother coming toward her. Frightened, she went to Sumi's room. Sumi hugged her, letting her sleep beside her so she wouldn't be scared. Both fell asleep, until Sumi herself had a strange dream. In it, she saw her real mother, and her younger sister covered in blood. Sumi suddenly woke up, only to realize she was still dreaming. She saw her real mother's soul standing in front of her, holding her severed head and placing it on her stepmother's shoulders. Then she truly woke up. She wasn't feeling well and went downstairs to get something. Her stepmother, also sitting there, said, "What a coincidence. I'm feeling unwell at the same time." Right there, Sumi found a box belonging to her real mother. Inside was a family photo, and from it we learned that their real mother had died. If her soul had appeared, it was because she used to be ill and our father had hired a nurse to take care of her. That nurse was none other than their current stepmother. This made Sumi furious. Just then, her younger sister entered and told her not to be angry. Sumi noticed a small mark on her sister's hand and asked how she got it. Sumi suspected their stepmother had done it. Night fell and Sumi's uncle and aunt arrived for dinner. At the table, the 2 sisters weren't there. Only Sumi's father, stepmother, and the guests. Later, when they left, Sumi's aunt told her husband on the way home, "There's a presence child in that house. I saw it with my own eyes. A little girl's soul." Back at the house, we see Sumi's stepmother. She began feeling strange. Right at the same spot where the woman had once seen the child's soul. There she noticed a small pin lying on the ground. As she reached to pick it up, another hand suddenly grabbed hers. She screamed in fear. At that moment, in the background, a girl wearing a green dress could be seen. She told her husband about it, but he didn't take her seriously. Later he went to his daughter Sumi and asked, "Can you tell me what problems are happening in this house?" But Sumi said nothing. She didn't think of her father as a good man either. One day, Sumi was playing with her younger sister, teaching her how to whistle. At the same time, she explained how to hunt birds. The next day, many dead birds were found in their house. Seeing this, their stepmother became furious and locked Sumi's younger sister inside a closet. Sumi rushed in, freed her sister, and hugged her tightly. Their father arrived and asked, "Now what happened?" Sumi shouted, "Can't you see how our stepmother tortures us?" Then came the shocking truth. Her father told her, "Your younger sister has been dead for a long time." Hearing this, Sumi's younger sister just stared at her, while Sumi, confused and shocked, eventually fell asleep. The next morning when she woke up, She saw her stepmother hitting a sack violently. Sumi feared she was killing her younger sister inside it, but it was only her imagination. Still, she confronted her stepmother, and once again they argued fiercely. The stepmother tried to kill Sumi by dropping a statue on her. But just then, Sumi's father arrived and stopped her. He made Sumi sit on the sofa. But when the camera angle shifted, it wasn't Sumi sitting there, it was her stepmother. And then, her father kept calling her name. Sumi, Sumi. He said, I've spoken to the hospital for you. You'll have to come with me. From the other side, another woman appeared, looking exactly like the stepmother. But when the camera angle changed, we saw that it was actually Sumi sitting on the sofa, and her father was talking to her all along. Here, the truth was revealed. When they first came to this house, there were only two people, Sumi and her father. Her mother had died a long time ago, and now her younger sister had also died, something Sumi could never accept. In reality, the stepmother never existed. Sumi herself had been playing the role of the stepmother. It was all her imagination. We now understood why, whenever the stepmother spoke to her husband, he never replied, because she wasn't real. And why he always placed medicine in front of the stepmother, because it was actually for Sumi. Everything that had been happening in the house until now was only inside Sumi's mind. All of this was happening because of Sumi's mental disorder. Eventually, she was sent to a mental hospital. Meanwhile, we see that the stepmother Sumi imagined was actually a nurse, and that nurse went to Sumi's house. Here the story takes a strange twist that's hard to understand. In the hospital, Sumi hears someone whistling. At the same time, the nurse also hears the exact same whistle. Sumi is shocked. But my sister didn't even know how to whistle. Maybe she learned it after becoming a soul. Then we see the ghost of Sumi's younger sister attack and kill the nurse. A tear of happiness rolls down Sumi's cheek, because even in her imagination, she deeply hated that nurse. This made her happy. At the very end of the movie, the real story is revealed. When Sumi's father brought the nurse to take care of her mother, he started liking her. Sumi's uncle and aunt were also happy about it, because Sumi's mother had been very sick. But Sumi and her sister hated this. This is what led Sumi's mother to commit suicide. One day, Sumi's little sister went near the closet where their mother had hanged herself. She tried desperately to save her, but in the process, the entire closet toppled over onto her, and she died from suffocation. Hearing the crash, the nurse rushed upstairs and Sumi followed. Sumi blamed her for everything, screaming that she was responsible for both her mother's and sister's deaths. The nurse replied, I never meant for this to happen. But if you think this way about me, remember, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Sumi couldn't handle all this at once. She lost her mind completely. Here, the full truth of the movie is revealed, and the story ends.